Hi, and welcome to another COVID coping skills. This is version 3 or video 3. So in our first video, we talked about things that you can do in order to deal with stress. So first one was 5-second rule. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one was closing your eyes. Closing your eyes has a biological response where it calms you down. The third thing was to soothing gestures. This can be done on yourself or your loved ones. This is just a matter of caressing your skin, body, like your arms, your back, be your head, legs are okay. It's just a way that will soothe you. You see this instinctually a lot. Sometimes you even see it on TV when they want to convey that someone is soothing someone or calming somebody. So those are some things that we can do. We've also talked about relationships, how we want to think about the importance of our relationships with our family, our children, and find ways to relax. We talked about being a worker in this type of environment. We have a lot of healthcare workers that are working. It is a stressful time for not only the patients and the people at home, it's also a stressful time for the healthcare workers. We talked about new healthcare workers, new to the field, and how that can be overwhelming. Some of the things I shared were some of my personal strategies. The importance of eye contact, listening, eye contact. The goal there is to bring a human element into it where they see you as a human. You have the eye contact with each other, using a respectful gaze, eye to eye contact. They know you're listening. And then also with the listening technique we spoke about was called drive-through listening. Drive-through listening involves listening to what they say and reading back or speaking back to them and seeing if you understood them correctly, if you guys are on the same page, if it's something you can do at that point, or if it's not. It's best to think about that in the moment. Is it something I can do or something that is not possible? And then you can, or something in between. That gives you the opportunity to say, hey, I will do this, or say, hey, I will see what I can do. These are a couple of my options. I'll come back, let you know what we find out. And then sometimes you have to say, I'm sorry, that's just not the way this works. I will do whatever I can to help you, but that's just not going to be a possibility at this time. I found that people usually will ask you, make sure that is correct. Sometimes they're not just willing to say, hey, I don't care that I'm not getting what I want. No, people do want to get what they want. They do have an invested interest in helping themselves, and it's understandable. A lot of you at home, you should be thinking about things that help you. We're getting a lot of information now. Now realize these steps help overall, but there are going to be some instances where you have to make a choice, and you want to make choices that help you and your family, but also help everyone in general. Some of the things I've seen people talking about online, or some people were upset that people are leaving their house. It's funny, people are going to the store and they see other people at the store and they're getting upset with them. I've been out in the stores, and it's interesting. What should we be thinking when we're outside and we're seeing other people? Should we be thinking that? Yeah, what should we be thinking? That's a hard question to answer. So if you're out there and you're thinking other people are doing the wrong things, you have a valid concern. You should really think about that. There's an art to telling people when they're doing the wrong thing. What would I do in a situation where I see someone's doing the wrong thing? You really have to determine whether it's appropriate or not to say something. And then also your ability to be able to convey whether someone is doing something wrong or not. A lot of times people don't really like to be told what to do. So you are entering a potentially combative situation or energy draining situation. I mean, we really want to think about when we are deciding to engage another individual, we are expending energy from ourselves, and that energy is a for most people, it's a limited resource. The energy that we have is limited. So you really want to think about, where do I need this energy? We need our energy for our family. We need our energy for careers. We need our energy for survival. And if you have those things in abundance and you have enough energy to put toward that situation where telling somebody that they're wrong or right about something, then maybe it is appropriate. But I think sometimes people have really low energy levels and they choose to engage in that situation, and really they hurt themselves. So my suggestion in that type of situation where you see someone is doing something wrong, really think about whether you have that extra energy that you can devote towards that situation and put the effort towards. I'm all about helping people and making sure other people are taken care of. I think that's a worthy goal, but I also think that sometimes when we're not taking care of our own responsibilities, it actually affects whether we're able to help more people or not. So when you're out and you're out and about and you're at the store or you're doing something, so yeah, that's a great example. We'll stick on the store, but it can be used in a lot of applications. You're out at the store, you see somebody, they're doing something inappropriate. Maybe they have 2 things of toilet papers or 5 things of toilet papers. You know that makes you mad. And you have a right to think that way. You have a right to think that this person shouldn't be doing that. I can't believe they're doing that. You're completely valid in that thought. And at the same time, you want to think about, do I have the extra energy and do I have the skills to enter the situation and come out productive? I think a lot of times people have the mentality that they like to, I think the big thing is we're trying to get a result. We're trying to get that person to have better actions. That's what we're looking for. There's different ways we do that. At a time like this, things are volatile. So really, it's good to consider how what you do in that next situation is going to affect the situation overall. Meaning that, you could yell at that person, you could demean them, you could give them the evil eye. Those all things, if the other person responds to those, that may or may not get you to where you want. I mean, some people really are pretty powerful with that tactic and can get what they want. I don't think it's the best way, but if that's what they're doing and they're effective, sometimes that's helpful until we can figure out some other ways to do things. But at the same time, if it's not getting you want, it's a lot of wasted energy in order to approach things like that. So those are some things to consider in COVID coping skills. If you have any questions, I'd love to discuss them, see what other things we can see what your questions are. So when we hop on these and we give some information, we can figure out what to share, figure out things that are going to help you